CHAPTER 1 of Book 2 of Rhetoric. This is a LibriVox recording. All LibriVox recordings are in the public domain. For more information or to volunteer, please visit LibriVox.org. Recording by Jeffrey Edwards. Rhetoric by Aristotle. Translated by Thomas Taylor. Chapter 1 of Book 2. Such, therefore, are the particulars from which it is requisite to exhort and dissuade, to blame and praise, to accuse and defend. And such likewise are the opinions and propositions which are useful in procuring credibility in these. For concerning these, and from these, enthymemes about each genus of orations are peculiarly derived. Since, however, the rhetorical art is for the sake of judgment (for the auditors of orations judge of consultations, and justice is judgment), it is necessary that the orator should not only direct his attention to the oration, so as to consider how it may be demonstrative and credible, but he should also show himself to be worthy of belief, and dispose his auditor to become a judge. For it is of great consequence in procuring belief, especially indeed in counsels, and afterwards in judgments, that the speaker should appear to be properly qualified, and that he should be well affected towards the auditors. And besides this, if the auditors also are properly disposed. That the speaker, therefore, should appear to be properly qualified, is more useful in counsels than in judgments. But for the hearer to be well disposed, is more useful in judgments. For the same things do not appear to those that love and hate, nor to those that are irascible, and those that are mild, but either they appear entirely different, or different in magnitude. For to the friend, he concerning whom he forms the judgment, will not appear to have acted unjustly, or will appear to have acted so in a small degree. But to him who hates, the contrary will take place. And to him who desires, and is in good hope of possessing what he desires, if that which is to come is pleasant, it also appears that it will be, and that it will be good. But to him who has no desire, and no expectation of a thing, the contrary will take place. There are three causes, therefore, through which men become worthy of belief. For so many are the things through which we believe, besides demonstrations, and these are prudence, virtue, and benevolence. For men are false in what they say, or in the counsels they give, either on account of all these, or on account of some one of these. For either they do not think rightly through imprudence, or they do not speak what appears to be true in consequence of their depravity, or they are prudent and worthy, but not benevolent. Hence it happens that those do not give the best counsels who know how to give them, and these are the only things through which they fail. It is necessary, therefore, that he who appears to possess all these should be considered by his auditors as worthy of belief. Whence, therefore, men may appear to be prudent and worthy, must be derived from the divisions of the virtues. For from the same things through which a man renders himself prudent and worthy, he may also cause another to become so. Concerning benevolence, however, and friendship, we must now speak, in discussing what pertains to the passions. But the passions are those things on account of which men being changed differ in their judgments, and to which pleasure and pain are consequent. The passions, therefore, are such as anger, pity, fear, and other things of this kind, and the contraries to these. It is necessary, however, to give a threefold division to the particulars about each. I say, for instance, about anger, we should consider how men are disposed when they are angry, what the things are at which they are accustomed to be angry, and what the quality is of the things which are the subjects of their anger. For if we only possess a knowledge of one or two, but not of all these, it will be impossible to excite anger in the auditors, and in a similar manner in the other passions. As therefore, in what has been before said, we have delivered appropriate propositions, we shall likewise do the same in considering the passions, and divide them after the same manner. CHAPTER 2. Let anger, therefore, be the appetite in man of apparent revenge, in conjunction with pain, in consequence of a seeming neglect or contempt of himself, or of some one belonging to him. If, therefore, anger is this, it is necessary that he who is angry should always be angry with some particular person, as for instance with Cleon, but not with man, and that he is angry because Cleon has done, or intended to do something to himself, or to some one belonging to him. It is also necessary that a certain pleasure arising from the hope of revenge should be consequent to all anger. For it is pleasant for a man to fancy that he shall obtain the object of his desire. But no one aspires after those things which appear to him to be impossible. He who is angry, however, aspires after things which it is possible for him to obtain. Hence it is well said by Achilles concerning anger that, Anger increases in the mortal breast, sweeter than trickling honey to the taste. For a certain pleasure is consequent to anger both on this account, and because the thoughts of those who are angry are entirely employed on revenge. The phantasy therefore, or imagination, which is then ingenerated in the soul, produces pleasure, in the same manner as the imagination which is ingenerated in dreams. Since, however, neglect is the energy of opinion about that which appears to deserve no regard, (for we conceive that both good and evil, and what contributes to these, are worthy of attention, but such things as are nothing, or very trifling, we conceive to be of no worth whatever), hence there are three species of neglect, viz. Contempt, insolence, and contumely. For that which men despise, they neglect, since they despise that which they conceive to be of no worth, and those things which are of no worth they neglect. He also who insults another person appears to despise him. For insult is an impediment to the will of another person. Not that he who offers the insult may derive a certain advantage himself, but that he may prevent the person insulted from deriving it. Since, therefore, he does not expect to derive any advantage himself, he neglects the other person, for it is evident that he does not apprehend any injury will accrue to himself from the insult, since if he did, he would be afraid, and would not neglect the person he insults, nor any advantage to the person insulted, which deserves to be mentioned. For if he did, he would be anxious to make him his friend. He also who acts contumeliously towards another neglects him, for contumely is to injure and pain another person in those things in which shame befalls the sufferer, and this not that any thing else may be done to him than what is done, but that he may receive pleasure from the act. For those who return an injury do not act contumeliously, but take revenge. The cause, however, of pleasure to those that calumniate is this, that they fancy they excel in a greater degree by acting ill. Hence, young men, and those that are rich, are contumelious, for they fancy that they thus acquire a superiority